Does this sound like you? You're scrolling through Twitter when you see it. Breaking. Dallas Mavericks ban Luka Doncic jerseys from home arena. Your jaw drops. You send it to your buddies, and you just realize you've shared a parody tweet. If you spend any time on NBA Twitter in the last few years, chances are you've fallen for something like this. And that's okay. I know I have. Multiple times. I'm talking about NBA Centel, a Twitter account so powerful it has its own Wikipedia page and had NBA teams dedicating wins to it when it disappeared for less than 24 hours. I'm your host Kyle, and welcome to Basketball Business, where we uncover the money moves behind the hardwood. If you enjoy these types of breakdowns, hitting that like and subscribe button really makes a difference. It tells YouTube this is content worth recommending. It helps me deliver more deep dives on the business side of basketball directly to your feed. Today, we're exploring how the NBA Centel misinformation machine became the most influential parody account in all of sports media, and what this tells about our collective ability to separate fact from fiction in today's digital age. For anyone that might not know, NBA Centel is a parody account that looks almost identical to NBA Central, a legitimate source with over 1.9 million followers on Twitter that aggregates basketball news. The difference? One key letter, R, and an entirely different purpose. While NBA Central shares verified news, NBA Centel creates entirely fabricated stories designed to fool people. And fool people it does. The account has duped everyone from casual fans to NBA players to even major media outlets.
There was the one report yesterday that it got so bad in practice going back 2 years ago that Chris Paul was making fun of James' man boobs in practice to the point that he broke down in tears and had to leave a couple of practices.
It got so bad that Kevin Durant said he started regularly checking the account, not for the content, but as he put it, quote, to truly see how many dummies come online thinking that they have high IQ. When someone called KD out after falling for a Centel fabrication, Durant replied with, "You got Centelled," a phrase that became so widely used that Merriam-Webster's Twitter account jokingly classified it as a verb. But the account's most impressive accomplishment might be when it was temporarily banned in February 2025. The reaction was stunning, to say the least. Most NBA teams posted tributes on their official Twitter pages. 4 out of the 9 teams that won that night dedicated their victories to the fallen account. Actor O'Shea Jackson Jr. called Centel a generational talent and a first ballot Twitter Hall of Famer. All of this for an account built on spreading fake news?
See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. Huh? They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs.
This is where things get pretty complicated, because while lots of people find Centel to be funny, there's a darker side to how it truly operates. Unlike clear satire sites like The Onion that are obviously parody, NBA Centel deliberately blurs the line. It uses near identical imagery to a legitimate news source. It changes just one letter in its name. And while it does identify itself as a parody in its bio, that disclosure isn't visible when posts appear in your feed or get shared around in group chats. Even more problematic, to comply with Twitter rules, the account no longer tags real reporters in its post. Instead, it tags accounts with one letter change, like Sharms Sharania instead of Shams Sharania. This practice deliberately makes it harder for casual readers to spot the fakery. And then there's the money angle. NBA Centel has accepted sponsorships from sports betting companies, including Polymarket. Think about that for a second. An account built on misinformation is now promoting gambling services that people make real financial decisions on. That's a pretty uncomfortable combination. But like everything in life, there's more truth to this story. Defenders of NBA Centel make some pretty compelling points too.
He's sitting informally like us. Let's hear what he has to say.
First, they argue that NBA Centel serves as a valuable lesson in media literacy. In today's era of declining critical thinking skills, the account forces you to verify the information before believing it. It's essentially a real-life application of your BS detector. Second, there is the double standard argument. Why hold a clearly labeled parody account to higher standards than verified news sources that regularly publish unverified rumors as fact? How many times have we seen sources say reporting turn out to be completely wrong with zero consequences for the journalists involved? And finally, there's the simple argument that it's just not that serious. In a world filled with actual harmful misinformation about elections, public health, and financial markets, getting fooled about fake NBA trades is pretty low stakes. Does it really matter if you briefly believed Stephen A. Smith is scheduled to appear on the Weather Channel to explain why LeBron James is not his GOAT? These aren't life-altering misconceptions. They're just momentary embarrassments that remind us to be more careful readers.
What are you doing?
I'm posting false information on the web.
Why?
It's fun. Someone picks up a strand of false information, spreads it around, and before you know it, a panic is created. Then you just sit back and watch the chaos.
What I like about NBA Centel is how perfectly it reflects our current media landscape while simultaneously exposing a real problem in how we consume information, a paradox that makes the debate around it so complex. The account thrives in an environment where engagement matters more than accuracy. It exploits our tendency to believe information that aligns with what we already think or hope is true. And it takes advantage of our reluctance to verify every piece of information we consume. The fact that professional media figures repeatedly fall for these stories is especially telling. Even artificial intelligence isn't immune to getting centelled. Twitter's Grok AI chatbot confidently confirmed a Centel story about Devin Booker donating to save Hooters from bankruptcy, complete with made-up details about the company's debt structure.
And you get these facts where exactly?
I make 'em up.
So who is responsible for this situation? Is it the creator, who deliberately designs content intended to deceive while profiting off that deception? The platforms, which allow and even incentivize this type of content through their monetization systems? Or the consumers, who fail to exercise basic critical thinking skills when consuming information online? The answer is probably all of the above. But the intensity of the debate around NBA Centel reveals something important about how we view information in the digital age. As media environments become increasingly fragmented and trust in institutions continue to decline, our ability to agree on basic facts is eroding. We're retreating into information bubbles where the line between news, entertainment, and fiction has never been blurrier. What's clear, though, is that it's holding up a mirror to our collective media literacy. The success of a fake news account, now with over 600,000 followers and cultural impact that's reached the highest levels of the NBA, says something about how we consume information in 2025. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed or learned something new, please like, comment, and share with someone you think would enjoy. Subscribe to Basketball Business for more great content on the off-court moves that make the on-court plays. Until next time, this is Kyle with Basketball Business.